Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking, I think this is the first time we've ever dedicated a whole episode to just a DLC.
Yeah, and shame on us for not doing it before for this particular franchise because they're deserving of it, and we couldn't not this time around. So
Yeah, we're talking about the DLC for Walkabout Mini Golf. The newest DLC is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This is the first of the Jules Verne courses that are coming, which they teased with a poster that obviously had a hot air balloon, so second one's probably going to be around the world in 80 days. But I don't know what the third one's going to be. So it'll be cool. If anybody has any guesses, go throw that either in the comment section or in the, if you're on YouTube or in our Discord on our official subreddit, which you can find the links to those in our show notes. But I'm curious to see if anybody's got a guess on the third course.
well, you just Google Jules, and it probably won't be hard to pick what would seem like a fun one. So.
Yeah, start to go through his, what do they call it, their filmography, his list of movies. But nonetheless, so 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a classic movie. It seems like between this and Labyrinth that Lucas Martel is kind of checking off his childhood favorite movies and getting them into his game.
I have the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. To watch it now would be kind of, I guess, technologically painful in a way. But if you can overlook that, and I still love watching old ass movies and shit. And
I call it the Coneheads effect.
yeah,
Coneheads is a funny movie.
I just hope
If you look at it for a movie in the 80s,
yeah, if you can forgive,
for,
like I said, there was no CGI, none of that shit.
Yeah.
But it was a great movie for its time. I mean, I think even Disney had an amusement ride at Disney World for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and they'd put you in a little submarine, which sounds absolutely crazy, but it was like a safe submarine, and you'd have an underwater experience and get attacked by big squid and shit.
Yeah, so you mentioned submarine, and they stay true to that with this. If you zoom out and you view the entire course on this, the entire course is in the submarine.
Yep, the Nautilus.
So it's not as big and expansive of a course like, example, Labyrinth, which was probably the biggest course that I had seen them do.
Labyrinth is legitimately a giant kingdom.
Yeah.
With the labyrinth surrounding the...
I'd almost say over the top, but over the top implies a little bad. Like, no, it's great.
No,
it's just, they pushed
over
it
the top meaning good.
Yeah, like they pushed it to the absolute limit, whereas this is a much more like simple in terms of space, and like there's not like you're not going to travel across buildings, but dude, they're in a submarine. Like you said, you zoom out, you see the whole course just in one submarine, and you gave them a lot of props that like they're utilizing every square inch of that.
Yeah,
thing.
I wanted to see because if you go to like the player, the score card menu, whatever you want to call it, you can see the whole friggin' course, and like every inch of that submarine is being utilized in some fashion. I mean, all the way down to the very bottom of it.
Yeah, and the holes for this one, they got real creative with. Even though, like I said, it's not as huge of a course, the actual gameplay of the individual courses are really cool. There's a lot of like blowing air vents that will either blow your ball away or suck it in and shoot it out somewhere. That's a recurring theme on this course.
Yeah, I think the overall, and it holds true to, I'll say, aesthetically to all their other courses, like visually. So it's not like you're going to pop in and be like, oh, this looks totally not like Walkabout.
No, it's very Walkabout.
It's very Walkabout. But the sound score is nice. It's very soothing.
Yep.
They have like the harpsichord playing.
I don't know if this is a positive or a negative, but I will say that this has probably been the easiest of the ball finding on the courses.
Yeah, I'd say ball finding, and the course wasn't the most difficult. For the easy course, I'll say.
Yeah. Of course, the hard mode course is still
hard. They made it pretty hard.
There's some of the variants in the regular, how they make it hard. It's like, oh yeah, that's hard. But yeah, I agree with that. The easy course, it's not their hardest course that they've ever released, but I like that concept. I don't think every DLC needs to get more difficult. I think at a certain point it's going to like lose the consumer friendliness like that. I don't mind simple courses. And look, we were playing last night. I still messed up some holes.
Dude, I hold out on one.
Yeah. So it's like, even though
like
it's
8 strokes, I couldn't freaking believe it.
So it's, yeah, because what happens with Walkabout Mini Golf, regardless of which course it is or which hole, there's always that chance that first shot is just terrible, locks you in a corner somewhere. Now you got to spend two shots or so just getting out of there,
No, it's definitely 100% Walkabout.
Yeah.
But I would encourage like the first thing you do if you jump in it is pull back and look at that submarine.
Yeah, and what I'll give them props for with these officially licensed courses like we saw with Labyrinth too.
I already know what you're going to say.
Dude, it's still just $299, the same cost as all their other DLCs. $299 for this.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot more than $299 playtime out of this.
I'm just going to say this is just another testament to the people who work, own, and manage Mighty Coconuts. They're, it's no secret. They're networked. They know people, and they obviously know how to negotiate. Because there's other people that probably could have done this, but
their license agreement maybe would have made it cost more than $399 or $299.
Welcome to the $19.99 DLC.
Yeah,
it's just a reality. So it's like the fact that you can do this for under $5.
Yeah, I would have understood if
out.
all of the officially licensed courses they cost $5 to $6 because there's licensing costs, but like they're the same cost. It's mind-boggling. So we were discussing how to do the rating system for this because it's a DLC. It's kind of hard to do the gameplay, aesthetics, replayability. It's
we've already rated Walkabout.
Yeah.
The key is like if it's true to Walkabout form.
Yep.
And you want to play it, you want to have a social experience in it with a couple of friends and shit, then they've nailed all that.
Yeah. So when we were talking about how to do the final rating, it's like if we break it down to category, it's like value. Well, value is a no-brainer at $299. It's
that was one of the things we were talking about. Like, well, dude, it's not even $5. So you can't have a value for money.
It's obviously worth. It's Mighty Coconut, and it's $3. It's nothing. So I mean, we ended up just deciding that what we're going to do when we do our rating on it is just a old school. Those of you who have been listening for a couple of years, you might know we used to do 1 to 10. We will go back to that for this one. We'll just do a standard 1 to 10.
Flat out overall. I can't believe we did that. It was short-lived.
I think we might have started with 1 to 5.
Yeah, it might have been.
The first 3 or 4 episodes, it might have been 1 to 5.
A 5-star rating.
Because we're doing it modeled after the Oculus store. That was the idea because Oculus
Correct.
You rated it 5 stars. So we're like, oh, that's how we'll do our podcast. But there wasn't much variance to there. Then we went 1 to 10. And even that, it was I think it works great for a DLC. But I don't think it works good for...
I think listener feedback also is why we do our current one.
Mm-hmm. I think our current system allows for the most specific rating possible, Yeah,
it can be brutal, though, because I've seen if that rating system didn't exist like we had it and it was a different rating, it would have gotten a better score.
But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think our rating system is the best possible system, but definitely there are some games and maybe even some games that we're playing now and getting ready to review that it's like, oh, it's not a bad game, but maybe our rating system isn't going to be too friendly to this.
No, there's been a couple of occasions I'd be hard pressed to remember at the top of my head, but it didn't help the cause, even though I actually enjoyed the game, but it was in fairness to the actual rating.
The game's better than a 70 or an 80.
Yeah, I just had to learn that a 70 from us is actually it's not a bad score.
No.
An 80 or 90 is a damn good score.
Well, because the way you get a good score in our rating system is you just have to be a well-versed game. But sometimes there's some games are really good in one area and not in others. They may be janky, but they're still a fun experience, But
that's also why we did
just
ours the way ours did, because we discovered there are games that are squeezing by with better scores than
they should, yeah. So
I consciously felt given, I guess.
Yeah. So, but classic 1 to 10 will work perfect for this.
Yeah.
Again, $299 for this is such a steal. So the ball locations, we got all the balls. I think this is the first time we've done on a DLC.
First run.
Yeah, our first playthrough this, we got all 18 balls, which all put that partly to you're in a submarine.
There's only so many places you can.
That was what made Labyrinth so hard with the ball finding is you go onto, some of the holes and it's like, dude, this ball could be anywhere. There's only so many spots in this. On this particular hole that it can be. So yeah. I felt like that actually helped the ball hiding.
It did. I think out of all the courses they have, that was the easiest one for finding ball. Well, obviously we found them all. And although I think
we're getting better. We're getting better.
Every time we go into a new course now, we actually go into, we call it walkabout mode.
Where would they put it?
If we were working for Walkabout or Mighty Coconut, where would we hide the ball?
And sometimes just off of that, the next thing, we'll be like, oh, it's right in there.
Yep.
Boom.
We're like little rats that go out when the sun
Yeah,
goes
we
down.
scatter.
Before we even putt the ball, we're
Yep.
both looking. And
No
then,
communication with it either.
and then if one of us finishes the hole and the other person's, obviously going to be a little wild, that other person will go start looking for the other ball.
Yep.
Sometimes.
You found it already.
Found the ball. I'll tell you where it is when you're done.
Yep. That happened with the 18th hole.
But definitely easier ball finding.
Yep.
I'd say overall course difficulty.
A little easier.
A little easier. It's not a gimme.
No.
They're still challenging.
But it's still fun, though. It's still a lot of fun.
And you figured something out that seems to be true. I've seen it with my own eyes and done it a few times myself, and it seems to work 75% of the time, maybe.
Yes, this idea was inspired, which, shame on us that we've had 2 interviews with the Walkabout people so far. We haven't asked. So
let's get excited sometime.
Back in the OG days, those first couple months when we had launched the podcast, we did a group game, our first ever group game. And one of our listeners, Josh, he loves Walkabout.
Oh.
He's not really a Discord user, so those of us on the Discord probably don't, you're not going to see him, but he's damn good at Walkabout too.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, look, on the original courses, he goes, look down, you see those dots. He's like, those are like, somehow they're involved with, like, if you use them in the right angle, you're going to get a really good shot off. And I was like, And it seemed to have held true, as we would play through it with him and we would start to see those little dots on the ground, It's like, all right, maybe those are little markers of how to get a good shot. But those don't exist in these newer courses. But
no, they're there. They're just very faint.
In a different way, I would say. I mean, more than that, than the dots is the lights on the walls. And I won't consider this a spoiler because just knowing about it, there's times that we knew what to do and you're still going to take the shot wrong. And then there's some of them that I still don't think that it holds true for every hole. And if it does, I haven't figured it out. But a lot of the lights on the wall, if you bounce it off that light at an angle, it's going to go right next to the hole. Not a hole in one, but you're going to get a great freaking shot.
Yeah, and I'm convinced.
There's something with the lights. There's something.
A couple of them that you've done, which were amazingly hard.
Looking, layout?
Yeah, the course is hard on that particular one where you just
whack it off the light.
Ding, 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 and then it goes right next to the hole. They're all hole-in-one doable.
Mm-hmm. But it also doesn't mean that just because you know about it that you hit that light at the wrong angle just a little bit, it's going to get stuck in the middle. Or sometimes, I've never seen a course do this so much, knock you back to the starting spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about, your ball went out of bounds, now it's like floating back. I'm talking because of either vents or just because of the angle of shit or the ricochet. I'm saying you take a hard shot, maybe you try to do the light bounce, and it goes all the way down and bounces all the way back pretty much right next to where you started. It happens so much.
Oh, dude, how many times do I ask you, I'm like, did that ball break into your house?
Yeah.
You were beating the hell out of that thing.
This might have been the course we laughed the hardest on.
Oh, dude, you had me dying.
We always do. That's the thing about Walkabout Mini Golf. For some reason, I take it for granted how funny of an experience it's going to be every time.
Well, and there's 2 play styles I think we really do. There's the one where we go in to like play the holes and try to be competitive. And then there's times where we're going in and we're trying to just experiment with shit. Like you're great at it. You'll sometimes might even choose to do it during a competitive game to go, I think I can launch it over everything and just you whap the shit out of it. You're sacrificing your...
But, we're doing just a friendly game. Who cares? I'm not, Especially if I mess up the first couple holes, I'm like, oh, shit, I'm in the bag for this one.
What's crazy is I'm not encouraging you to do it so you get a bad score. I'm encouraging you to continue doing it when it's happening because I believe it can be done.
And there's sometimes I figure some shit out. Yep. I figured out some really cool shots.
Now, I'm curious about the light thing, and then the next time we talk to someone from Mighty Coconut, we're going to ask about the dots on the floor. Because they still exist on this one.
They're just very faint.
But what if those lights work so well, then what's with the dots?
And
I'm going to be bummed if I hear, no, those dots are really just, little check spacer things.
Yeah, they mean nothing. I'm going to laugh when I hear, the lights mean nothing, bro.
Can you send us a video of you doing these shots?
Are you shitting me? If you hit that off that happens?
I'm
going to laugh. If it's completely coincidental.
No, I think there's something to it because you sold me on it, and then I went and tried it, and it didn't work the first time, and this is what you're saying. Like, just because you know it, I watched you do it, and I'm like, well, shit, I'll do that. That worked great.
And even sometimes I went to go do it, knowing how to do it, and no.
And then I'm also convinced that it only works on your tee shot.
I think so too.
Like, you can't like.
There's been very few times that I've missed the first shot bad, and then I go, well, there's a light right here. Let me bounce off. It doesn't seem to work the same.
Correct, but there might be something to that.
There's got to be, but there's a couple of the holes that it's like. Remember when we were playing on the hard mode, and I didn't notice that there wasn't a wall on the side.
Yeah.
But there's like a light on the platform, but no wall.
You just drilled it.
It's right off the edge. You're like, what are you doing? I was like, shit. You're like, there's no wall there. I was like, I realize that now.
I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? You literally took aim at the side of the course where you're on a platform. And fucking hit the ball right off the thing the sound effects go great when you hit the ball because you're in a tin can. So
yeah, this course seems extra bouncy too. It's like shit really bounces in this one.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I like the vibe.
I like the suction elements. I like the different way the vents can lead. Like there's a lot of different possibilities. Notably the kitchen sink one. You know, if you can make it right off that edge into that kitchen
They got
sink.
They
got some crazy shots going on in this one.
There's always hidden shit going on in these games too.
And like I said, even though it's not as vast and big of a course, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I like the simplicity of it. It's still like very detailed.
A cup of my large coffee cost me $2.98 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? This DLC is
and it's not I know.
Not even a large cup of coffee.
I know, it's insane. $3.
I'm done with that coffee. That was yesterday.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of playtime out of this one.
Holy crap.
They got such cheap DLC. I'll give them a lot of props to that.
And
when
some cool balls.
When I say simple, I don't mean simple as in like there's not a bunch of like artistic stuff. Like, oh my god, it's artistically beautiful and packed. It's just not a huge space. I mean,
no, you're
in a submarine.
Yeah, it's just weird because I mean, I guess coming off of Labyrinth, the scale of that is just
it's not as big of a course, but I think it's as artistically pleasing and you know they definitely nailed it.
I would say Labyrinth might have been a little more because Labyrinth had, you had characters involved in there.
Yeah, again, like the workers and stuff.
Yeah, where this one you do have, the squid and it's got its giant beak trying to
eat your balls.
Again,
I want to say Labyrinth over the top, but that has like I said before, it kind of sounds negative. But over the top is the only word I can put for it. It's like it's not really.
I think that the size of the course dictates the scale. I mean, I would say the scale is accurate. Yeah. Whereas Labyrinth, the scale felt accurate.
The reality is, if they tried to make this course as big as Labyrinth, exactly what you're saying, you would
never feel like you were in a submarine.
You'd be like, this isn't 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
It couldn't be.
I'm in a beach house or something.
Yeah, it's way too spatial.
Beach mansion.
But then it made me think, as we're talking, I'm like, wow, battle cruiser from Star Wars.
I've been wanting even like a Millennium Falcon one or a Death Star one.
Millennium Falcon's a little small.
Yeah, that's true.
Although it is you'd think it would be huge, but I'm thinking like, wow,
true.
It's not very big. But that's what I'm thinking, like
Death Star.
A Death Star. Holy crap, dude! 36 holes.
Mm-hmm. Or just a Star Wars themed one. One's a Hoth planet. One's a Tatooine. One's in a cantina.
I think the Star Wars trademark, and I've said it before,
it's so priceless.
But it's the holy grail. Because
they could put out 10 Star Wars courses, dude. There's so much possibility. I'd buy them all.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started. But that's negotiating skills on some next. That's when we'll be paying more than $3.
I would pay $5 for a Star Wars course. See like lightsaber fight in the background.
I think $5 would be a steal.
Yeah,
I just don't know if
I don't know how they still have this one at $2.99.
I don't know.
Like props to them.
I honestly I don't. It's one of the most popular games you can play. It's holding its. It's never lost momentum. It only gains momentum. It's a team made up of hand-picked the best of the best that they come across. Yeah, it's legit. Like
Disney execs, film execs, not execs. I'm sorry, people who used to work at Disney. Execs, yeah, not executive.
Keep them out of it.
People who used to they'd be a much worse studio if that was the case.
Yeah. These are visionaries and doers, and I'm not saying the executives aren't. They just handle shit at a different level.
But we're talking about like the artists behind.
He did a YouTube video on it.
Yeah. Don Carson, who we interviewed, props to him. This was the first, I saw him posting, this was the first course that he worked on start to finish.
Because, he came in mid-development
of Labyrinth.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, that's why when I say simple, it's not that it's like artistically simple. I meant simple in terms of size. Like, there's a lot of really cool artwork going on in there.
Kudos to him for not saying, and you could, during the interview, he was excited and
he's like, I wish I could tell you what the next one is.
Oh man, I almost thought he was gonna break at one point, and yeah, I just give him a lot of kudos.
Yeah,
I'm happy for him because he was a cool dude to talk to, and the passion he brought to the table was, and so to look at that finished product, it's like I'm envisioning the fun he had actually doing all that. That's pretty crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think
but you can watch his YouTube. I think he does a YouTube video of, I haven't watched it yet. So,
and he's got good social medias on Instagram and such, where he really posts a lot of his artwork as well.
Dude, his background is awesome.
Well, yeah.
So I'm saying everyone in this studio is like, look, I'm just smiling ear to ear because it's like
extremely talented people, and you see that in the final product.
If you're the best of the bestest on Mighty Coconut's probably going to come knocking at your door and be like, hey,
okay, well,
you like mini golf?
Here's where I think that this course shines.
On.
Here's why it shines. Because check this. What makes Walkabout Mini Golf so great? It's the social aspect. It's going in, it's laughing, it's having a good time with your friends. Like I said, in this course, probably the most we laughed. Like, this was one of the funnest times we had in a course. And I don't know if it's just because we weren't looking for the balls every time because we had already found all the balls. Usually it takes us a couple go-throughs. It didn't feel as long of a 18 holes as some of the other courses.
No.
It felt quicker.
In some of the holes, I mean, even I'm thinking of like 2 or 3 of them. They're not really.
No, there's a lot of par 3s in the course,
This is not going to be your par 5.
Which I'd argue there's probably a good 8-person course because of that. Because like 8 people, they take a long time to get through. But
knowing the team that makes this, it's like I could totally see someone had put a course on the table and the argument became that wouldn't ever work because of the scale, and we're sticking to scale. And as ridiculous it is, and I don't obviously have the time to do this, but if you scale measured out what the real submarine is to what they did inside it, it's probably accurate. That would be my guess, that's just that little level of detail that they do that they didn't have to do. But
and how there's kind of that, you were saying it's like you fired in and it's that Walkabout mini golf graphics, like it is.
Yeah,
I can't wait till we see all these IPs that we love, all these big franchises
going to them.
And it's gonna be, there's something that's gonna be exciting about seeing Harry Potter with Walkabout Mini Golf graphics,
Walkabout
with the touch.
transformation.
That's why you had even said that, I think, during the Dawn interview, that it's such a smart thing that they got going because it's only a certain amount of time before people are going, can you put us in the game? Versus them reaching out and going, hey, we want to make a course for you. Who knows? Maybe that's already happening.
Our Avenger franchise hasn't been doing as great as we had hoped.
Yeah, maybe you could maybe do an Avenger course.
Hulk course or some shit. No, dude, it's the dream team for... It's funny because Walkabout Mini Golf, really, it's mini golf, right? But Walkabout in itself has become its own little culture, where you when you see it, oh, this is a Walkabout. You even heard him mention that things will get brought to the table and it'll get kicked back because it's not Walkabout enough. It's not Walkabout enough.
Yeah.
So it literally is a culture.
Well, think about what do we say? We even said it earlier. We're going to find the balls. We go, well, we got to get Mighty Coconut. Like, we got to put our our coconut brains on,
Where would that crazy bastard hide this ball? But
yeah.
I'm happy we were able to find them all in
the first one, yeah.
But I do agree with you that it didn't seem like it was going to be the hardest because when we were doing the holes,
they're not the biggest holes.
We're like, all right, the area is limited here. There's only so many freaking places you can really hide one.
Which sometimes that makes it hard too. There was one hole that really tripped us up. We didn't even find it till we got to the next hole and we looked backwards.
Yeah, that's
the
thing.
We saw it from the next hole. Perspective's everything.
Yep. If you're on the ball hunt,
change your angles, bro.
They are geniuses with like a plant leaf being able to block the ball because they know that bet you this is where most people will be standing. But if you go to the other side of it and turn around and look, you'll be like, oh, there's a ball stare. Like, how did I fucking miss that?
They do smart with like, or they do really good with the
and
balls.
I'm not saying that's where any balls are.
No, but they tend to match the balls with the environment they're hiding in too. So there's not like any color change that sticks out to you visually. It's like,
I can't remember the name of the guy who hides the balls.
oh, I know, I forgot.
I'll have to re-listen to that episode.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's a hunter.
Yeah, I hope that they didn't, you know, because we were joking with Don that Labyrinth was really hard to find all the balls. Don even said that he didn't find all the balls himself. So I hope that we didn't put any influence in them scaling back the difficulty of the balls, because I like there being variance in courses.
I'm sure none at all.
Like, example, we mentioned this DLC was a little bit easier with the ball hunting, maybe a little quicker, a little simpler of a like easy to play. It wasn't the hardest holes. You know, I think that they're going to mix it up. There's going to be some courses that are extremely hard, some courses that are more beginner friendly. It'd be cool if they start to get like a label on some of the courses. Like this one's a intermediate one.
I got you.
Because definitely some courses are harder than others.
I'm really liking the licensing.
Yeah.
And that's
endless
a tough
potential.
one, because a lot of times when it's a hokey area, because you can, you know, yes, people can buy licensing, but it doesn't mean the product's going to be good or fit. And if I'm starting to see that big, you know, that walkabout touch that you were saying, that people are going to go to them anxious to see their product. Like,
with that
like being cartoonized style. Or you know, being turned into a cartoon or something. Yeah, I want to see our shit on. You know, let's go walkabout. Be paying them for the right to have their product instead of the other way around.
We can't say it enough. Star Wars is our holy grail for this, and it just feels like it would work so good. It'd be so cool. You know, even if they had.
You know what it is? I want Walkabout to do it before
a bad one comes out.
Before someone else decides they're going to do it, and it's not going to. No,
it's perfect for Walkabout.
Yeah.
It's perfect for Walkabout.
Yep.
Walkabout Mini Golf is like, you know how Lego Star Wars just works. Like it's so niche. It just seems so weird, but
it's got like a cult following.
This is VR's Lego Star Wars. You know, Walkabout Mini Golf. You could do Lego games for any franchise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You name it. They've done Indiana Jones. They've done Batman.
Star Wars.
They could do Walkabout Mini Golf for any franchise, and it works.
Yeah,
it works really good. Yeah, no, I'm so impressed with them.
So I'm assuming Lego does have to pay.
Yeah, I mean, now here's the thing.
Licensing rights, but yet that's weird. I would have no concept of how that really works.
Yeah, it's always interesting that, like, who's carrying the weight in that, you know, is it
because you look at Lego's product line and it's like, wow, they got Disney, they got everything.
Yeah, I have a feeling when you get as big as Lego, you might be surprised that sometimes people come to you versus you reach out and go. It might be that same thing one day for Walkabout, you know?
I don't want to change. So have you seen the Lego competition contest?
No.
That they have? Oh, dude. If you ever get a chance to watch it, it's a Lego competition. I'm not knocking the people, but some people take their Legos too serious. Mm-hmm. But there's just this one scene. The guy like yells to his partner, who's a female, that you don't know Lego. You don't know Lego. It's just how he has a little fit. It's hysterical. Anyways, but no,
it's
I
real
agree.
To me, man. It's real to me.
I'd love to see, and I think we're gonna, because he's more than proving that he's got the talent and the team put together to get these jobs done and done properly. There's nothing.
$299.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Get me started on that.
All right,
I don't want to be the voice of a price increase, but it's like
it's a cup of coffee, like you said. Dude, go get a bagel.
Coffee costs me $2.98. Costs me 1 cent more than my cup of coffee. That's crazy.
It's such a steal. But you want to grab a quick message from the sponsors and get into our final thoughts and rating on this one?
Yeah, why not?
So, like you'll hear me say every week, this is a time that we take a little break from our podcast rambling, take a little message from the sponsors. But if you hate ads, even though ours are a little funny, you can go join our official Patreon, where we have a bunch of different tiers. One of the tiers is ad-free. So if you don't like to listen to ads, we got to make money as podcasters too. But if you give us money, it's a fair deal.
No, there's a service I pay on for listening to podcasts ad-free, I'll admit. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's got to eat a bagel.
It's all for one podcast.
Look, it's not $2.99 DLCs aren't much, but I gotta pay for them. Right? I'm just kidding. We'll take a message from the sponsors, and at the same time, if you want to give us a little support and love, go check out our Discord server, our Reddit server, and go join that Patreon. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in metaquest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The metaquest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered. Damn, Stratus, have you been working out, or is that a new shirt?
Nah, it's just a new shirt.
What is it? Is that your True Classic tee right there?
It is.
Oh my goodness. Check this. At the Ruff Talk VR podcast, we just landed a brand new podcast sponsor.
One that I'm really happy about.
Well, let's be real. It's the case with you. It's the case with me too. Anybody who knows us, we're pretty weird about, shirt material.
Yeah, I don't like certain things on my skin.
No, I'll drive my girlfriend crazy. I'll put on a shirt. I'll sit
Take
there
it
for a
right
second.
off.
I'll be like, nope, need a different one.
Too thick.
Yep.
Too heavy.
Material, fabric, weight, it's all essential for wearing a shirt.
Yep. You're speaking the truth.
And you know what? These shirts came in. True Classic.
Mm-hmm.
They're shirts. They're lightweight.
They form fit really nice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like not everybody's got the
jackpot.
guns, but you don't need it with these type of shirts. Real form fit. If you're, we'll say, a bigger size gentleman, either long or just bigger, it really doesn't make that hanging feature that you see some shirts put on. It kind of just hangs right over.
The most important thing for me was going to be how it felt on my skin more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything outside of that's an added bonus. So they've hit all the boxes that one would need checkmarked for a good quality t-shirt.
Yeah, so whether you're like us and you're very particular about the type of shirt you're putting on, or you're just having trouble finding a good fit t-shirt, check out True Classic. You can use code word Ruff Talk VR, all one word. You can save 25% off your order, and they even do free shipping with orders above $100.
Yeah, that's in today's times, that's worth its weight in gold.
And you might say $100 in shirts, go
shop.
You know what? They got packs. They do other things besides shirts. They do workout stuff. You say,
Yeah, you can bundle your own little wardrobe accessories there. They got something for everybody. But if they could send out like a little 4-inch swath of their shirts to just millions of people,
mm-hmm.
I bet you millions of people.
Just sample the fabric?
Because before I even put mine on, I just wanted to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew before I was even going to put it on, I'm like, this is a good t-shirt.
Yeah.
And it sounds crazy, but they're definite. I'm living proof. I got a whole drawer in my house full of shirts that I will not wear, each for a specific reason.
Yeah. No, True Classic tees is not going to fall into that pile.
No, they home runned it. They really did. So, and I'm happy that they did, because otherwise we certainly wouldn't be able to talk about it.
Yep. And I'm glad that now we can share some savings with our podcast listeners. So,
absolutely.
Again, that's 25% off with code Ruff Talk VR, and purchases over 100, free shipping, baby.
Nice. Smooth sack summer is slowly coming to an end, fellas. If you haven't been scaping for the summer sun, it's not too late to sweep your sack of those pesky pubes. As summer comes to an end and we enter fall, keep your boys clean and fresh just in time for Fresh Ball Fall. The leader in below-the-waist grooming is here to make sure your pubes feel smoother than a beach ball and smell fresher than your girl's pumpkin spice. Start the new season the right way and join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscape with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep your sweet, sweet sack in check. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver ball deodorant, crop reviver, toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. Their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock, and gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Now that your sack is smooth, lather up with Manscaped's liquid formulations to get that fresh ball fall freshness. The Crop Preserver, ball deodorant to stay cool in the heat. Their soothing aloe vera formula is the best in the business for below-the-waist freshness, and the clear drying formula keeps your sack looking and smelling good. Great goosey moosey! Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts for their Performance Package 4.0. The Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag that'll bring your comfort to another level at home and on the go. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ruff Talk VR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ruff Talk VR at manscaped.com. Keep things smooth and fresh as we say sayonara to smooth ball summer and enter fresh ball fall.
And we're back from the sponsors. So, like I had said before, we're not doing our typical gameplay, aesthetics, replay, blah, blah, blah. We're just doing a typical 1 to 10 overall rating.
Our untypical.
1 to 10. We say untypical, but again, that's how most ratings are. And I just don't feel like 1 to 10 gets in depth enough unless it's just something like a DLC.
No, to me, it's like the 1 to 10 or the 5 star is just a stamp at that point. I'll say our normal.
A 7 out of 10 sounds bad.
Our normal rating, at least it dissects the areas of it.
Mm-hmm. So and you can say why you gave it.
Yeah. So it's like, this is why it excelled at, we've had games that had like graphics of almost 20, but maybe the gameplay was a 15, I mean, it's just the reality. It's just a more fair, rounded.
And I find for myself personally, if I don't break it down into categories there, then I go, well, you try to add it all up into your head of what it should justify.
Just doesn't make sense.
It's better to have some sort of actual like mathematical, no, you got 15 there.
Truth be told, if we had 10 categories for 1 through 10 each, I wouldn't be upset at it.
No. And now, it's one of those things that the more categories you have, the more accurate you get.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the more you have to read, and people are going to listen to 10 minutes of us reading through the different categories every time.
Get to the end result, will you, for Pete's sake.
So there's a balance in there too. More categories, the more accurate your review is going to be, but at the same time, you want it to be an enjoyable experience too. So that's the balance. But for this, just 1 to 10. So I'll kick it off. I won't hide anything. I love the course. I think we made it obvious there. The course is a steal in price, $299 for DLC. My goodness, officially licensed. I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10 on this one. I actually enjoyed the difficulty level of the holes because anybody who's played Walkabout Mini Golf with me, you made the joke, yeah, things steal money from you, whatever. I'm not the best at the game, but I have a blast with Walkabout. I've never had a bad time. I think I actually make the experience funnier for those I'm playing with, in fact, because of how bad I'm doing. But so it being a little bit of an easier course wasn't the worst, but yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. 9 out of 10. I think huge props for utilizing every square inch of that for the courses. There's no dead space in there. I mean, it's innovative features too. I really like the way that they use the vents. The vents are a big theme of this one. Either, like I said, blowing you away, sucking you in. They have some real, you see them and you go, no way, I can't do that. And then, try enough you can. They have some really cool shots you can take in this one. I don't know. I'd argue this is one of the funnier courses to play with friends just because of the whole setups. It's even the ones that look simple. If you do it wrong and it goes wrong, like example, there's that one on the hard course that, on easy, you just hit it up and then you loop it around the other side with all those like clock looking things hanging there. But on hard, there's like barriers in it. So, you miss once. That happened to me the first time we did hard. I went all the way to the other side. You're screwed, It's like your whole number is going to go up. So, yeah, no, it's fun. They did a great job with this one. I can't think of anything that they could have done better with it. It's in a submarine. I mean, holy shit, they really utilized it. I mean, I'd say maybe the ball finding could have been harder, but I'm also not mad at getting all the balls on our first time, so it is what it is. 9 out of 10 is perfect for me.
Okay, fair enough. I am impressed with the space utilization. Now I'm mentally intrigued with how accurate this scale is it based on, and then did they find out from old movie transcript and shit just how big the actual Nautilus was. So I'm that in itself has me blown away. They get 5 points for coming right out of the gate with a new course. So I mean, I don't care if they came out with a shitty one. I'll give them a 5 just for that. So we know at a minimum they're always going to get a 5. I love that there doesn't seem to be an end game to all these courses either. It's just endless. And price point, come on, 10 out of 10. Under a cup of extra large cup of coffee would have put me over the top. So it's one large cup of coffee and you got a DLC you can play with your friggin' friends. It's Walkabout to the hilt. I loved I wasn't upset at the size. I thought it held great to the scale. I can't go any lower than a 9. I would go as high as a 9.5, but a 9 is fair. The only thing I'd probably say is it's probably an easier course to play than some of the other courses I have played from Walkabout, but to utilize and make a challenging or ultra challenging course in a friggin' submarine and still make it enjoyable, it wouldn't work. So I can't really punish them for none of that. The ball finding, it was easy, but we were just laughing because we knew that we felt like we had one up on everybody in Mighty Coconut because we're like, haha, it's in a submarine. There's not many places you can hide it in this. I see how this is going to work. So we had almost a snotty arrogance at some points to us, like, you know, because we do go after these balls pretty fiercely. And I did have a lot more to say, but with the vent sucking and blowing comment, I got sidetracked with about 18 different jokes I wanted to fire off. But no, they get a 9 out of 10. Anything they do, I would pay more. I mean, I'm not telling them to increase. I don't know how they even come to a under $3 freaking price point. I don't get it. And be having actual licensed, I don't know. I don't ever want to negotiate with anyone
on licensing,
on anything, because they have negotiating skills that are just, you know.
Yeah, to get this course for $299.
Yeah, I mean, what was Labyrinth?
Yeah, $299.
Yeah,
all their DLCs $299.
Like,
how?
I don't get it. I'm also gonna say that the music that they play in the background, it's not intrusive at all. There's no
it's subtle. It's always been immersive adding.
I don't know what it is lately with a lot of new games, but it seems like they're having issues with their ability to
play the music at a good volume,
adjust their in-game sound so that it fits with the fact that.
Yeah, I'm finding myself needing to go in the settings more and more with games.
I kind of get it if it's not a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
But if it's a multiplayer game, I don't get that. Just loud. And I loved the football, but the sound until you adjust it was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I get it. You might, as the developer, really think that song is cool, but I don't want it blowing out my eardrum.
Yeah, there's no reason. But
this I can't even hear the in-game stuff.
Sometimes you might even not hear the music in this.
No, it adds you. It makes you more immersed. It gets you into the game. Yeah. So. No,
hats off to Walkabout.
Yeah, big props to them.
Killing it as always. Enough that now we feel we need to talk about the DLCs.
On a whole episode.
Yeah, on a whole episode. Instead of just bringing it up on like a news.
Yeah, it really clicked to me after the Labyrinth course. I was like, we're kind of.
I wish we had
justice.
for Labyrinth though.
Yeah, even Sweetopia, we could have. And
Sweetopia, I can't even say it without wanting. The
Smart Sweets thing. The only company I'll ever say and that don't actually sponsor us.
Smart Sweets.
Yeah. I want them to sponsor us so bad. Freaking the best candy, man.
You show people. Who cares?
Yeah, I'll show them. There's fucking 2 grams of sugar per serving with 5 servings in this bag. So this whole bag is 10 grams of sugar.
Dude,
Sweets is the best.
I will woof one. It's so weird that like, I love every sponsor we have.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I want them as a sponsor so bad.
Kind of wanted them.
Yeah, I want some. You don't even got to pay me. Just give me just give me some candy.
I don't know where the correlation between VR gamers not eating candy would ever come into anyone's mind from them, though.
My
'Cause it's
attitude,
like-
I already know how I would pitch it. I would go, dude, look, we all like to munch while we play video games. That's a thing.
Mhm.
Just because you're doing a play session of video games doesn't mean that you need to eat, 2,000 calories of sugar.
Not when you're trying to burn off some.
Dude, you eat that whole bag, it's 10 grams of sugar.
That's funny.
You walk down the street, you're going to eat more than 10 grams of sugar these days,
No, I do like their peach rings.
Yeah.
And I'm picky about what I'll eat when I play VR.
This is
'cause I
actually
don't
even a
want-
sponsor ad. I'm sorry
want-
about
no,
anybody
it's just-
listening to this.
they're getting a free ad on this one, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, because I don't want shit all over my hands and
Mhm.
stuff, and I don't even like when people take drinks when they got VR headsets on.
Mhm.
I just
I can only do it with a straw.
fuck. I don't even want to do none of that.
You ever drink a pina colada while you play VR?
No,
Do it with a straw. It's
No.
fucking, that's the high
no.
life.
But little candies and stuff like
I
that.
can I can do it with a straw. But I agree. I don't like tilting my head back
that
with a
I
cup.
can handle.
Some
So
more-
I'm anxious to see what they've got coming next.
yeah, we got sidetracked there because we said Sweetopia. You said
I-
candy. I said
No, and when we played Sweetopia, that's all I fucking wanted was candy.
yeah. I bought so many of those bags
I got those
while we
bags
were playing
staring at me in the
Sweetopia.
face.
Yeah, it's a problem. All right, but nonetheless, you got anything else you want to say before we wrap this baby up?
No,
Just-
I'm just happy that these are going to keep coming. And
Yeah, endless potential.
what kind of scares me a little is that the Mighty Coconut team is obviously going to continue to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and
I think it's only going to get better.
some other teams are going to be losing staff. I mean, he's to be reckoned with in the VR world.
Yeah, it's a dream team. They got they got quite the team going on there, and it
So
seems like
I'm excited,
everybody we've talked to from there, they seem happy. Seems like really
Happy.
fun.
dude.
Playful. So
How
Good.
happy would you be if you worked for a company called Mighty Coconut?
yeah.
Come on, man. You'd be smiling every day.
Okay. Conceptually, if you make a company and you call it Mighty Coconut and then you're an asshole, you are like
Yeah.
the worst type of human. It's called Mighty Coconut. It's got to be a happy
He's a
environment.
cool dude.
Yeah.
Actually,
So-
everyone we've talked to so far from there has been
Yeah,
pretty
like I
damn
said,
cool.
happy, playful, good people. So, and
Not
I think
like
that
blinking SOS.
Yeah. help me, holding up a sign. This isn't going to be on video, right? No, and nothing but love. And I think that you see that end result in the product. You see all the love in the small details. And those
Never not
little-
had fun and laughed, but
the
definitely
laugh is the big thing. That's the thing that, like I said before, it always surprises me. We're pissing ourselves laughing playing this.
yeah. No, hats off.
So, if
Give
you-
us more.
Yeah, right. I'm so ready. I'm
Greedy. I want
dreaming
more.
for Star Wars. So, if you enjoyed this episode, like I say, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, join the subreddit, the Discord, go join our Patreon. You can even help us on our never-ending journey to go full-time, and you're not just donating money. I mean, there is an option to just donate, but we have perks, incentives, You can get exclusive titles on our Discord, get ad-free podcasts, get shout-outs on the podcast, have your name roll across it on our video, whole bunch of cool things. So definitely check that out, and stay tuned for next week.
Have a good week.